It's a new year, so a new hairstyle. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, everybody. And what better ways to kick things off than a cEDH gameplay with the Meria School of Antiquity. I always liked her, but I kind of struggled with Meria. I never really seen her win. I do know that she wins games. She's quite good, but I've never seen that myself. Also, I kind of never won with her myself, but now I'm trying out Hisp's version, which is basically a storm version. You have Glimpse of Nature, Final of Devastation and Tutors, Tinderwald. You can find your dockside. We have where is the Mystic Forge? I do like the Mystic Forge in this deck. Basically a storm deck, Winter Orb, Nullrod. Might be skeptic about Nullrod, but the thing is that we can play through Nullrod and where is it? There it is. Special Art Collector. Oof. Now we do have something of a strange pod. Our first opponent is playing Emiel the Blessed, Celestia. Then we have Marchesa the Black Rose. And then finally Tymna and Kraum. That's all I know about my opponents. But let's get started and take a look at my opening hand. So our first 7 doesn't really contain explosive stuff. We need fast mana, so we're mulliganing this one. Our second hand is appealing. I do like City of Traitors. We can have a turn 3 Mystic Forge, but I want a little bit more speed than this. So we're gonna go down to 6. Mana Crypt, nice. And we have yeah, I think this is a hand we're gonna keep, honestly. Ooh, we can have... yes. We're keeping this. I think I'm gonna put this thing on the bottom of the library, even though it's good for the commander, but double tutors for creatures could be key, getting that beer gameplay is key. Yeah, this feels good. Also, we are second in turn order. Nice. So the plan is more or less to just empty our entire hand, get Mystic Forge or Commander into play, and then see what we're gonna use with the tutors for later. Might get the dockside early on though. Actually might just pass with a mana open on the Verdant Catacomb to find dockside in for turn 2, depending on how much people are putting rocks into play. And then Final Devastation might get the Birgi, so to say, later on. I will begin with a Scalding Tarn, but we also have a pre-game effect of Fierce Guardianship into a Gemstone Caverns turn 1. Finding Underground Sea, and a Mana Crypt. And no Heuristic Study! No! This is so bad! We're so gonna feed that thing, I hope not. Draw a card. Verdant Catacomb. We're gonna fetch first. Find a Taiga, cast Mana Crypt, and pay for Heuristic Study. Gonna cast a Paradise Mantle and pay for Heuristic Study. And then I pass turn. So it doesn't look that we were so much hurt by the Heuristic Study, we were able to pay, but I do wanna keep the green mana open for my Worldly Tutor to potentially find Dockside turn 2 here. So we're not doing that. We're gonna be a delayed Dockside. Crack a Scalding Tarn. Here we get a Mana Crypt, pay for Heuristic Study, and cast Viscera here, also pay for Heuristic Study. And then we're going here to Emiel. I hope he's blessed with a Mana Crypt too, with the foothills. He fetch Mana Crypt. Everyone pays for Heuristic Study. Oh, and turn is passed. So he didn't get to draw a single card. Let's try to keep it at that. He plays a Command Tower and Tymna. I'm gonna go to my turn. I take 3 damage from the Mana Crypt. Did not draw land. However, we're gonna play this card as a land. We're gonna pay 3 life to make it come into play untapped. We're gonna cast our Commander, paying for Heuristic Study with the floating mana from Mana Crypt. Then we're gonna use our Commander to tap this artifact and equip it to our Commander. And then we're gonna pass the turn. It feels pretty good. Everyone is paying for Heuristic Study, and we are developing our game sort of the way we want it to be developed. Glen Alendra Archmage. He does not pay for Heuristic Study, and I can see why. Because we want to be able to use that Glen Alendra. Actually, I do agree on this. That is a great card to have in play and be ready with it. It's a really annoying creature. Really strong with his commander too. So we're going here. Verdant Catacomb. He fetch. And he casts Manglehorn, paying for Heuristic Study. Yikes. That's a great creature. He targets my mantle is destroyed. That's sad. It's a little bit of an annoying art creature for me. Don't want to see that on the table. But it also affects the other guys, so... But turn goes here. Draw a card. Mana Confluence. Ranger Captain of Eos. That is a strong creature. Should be scared of that one. Oh, wait a minute. Glen Alendra goes through it. Your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Yeah, Glenalendra worked perfect against that. And he finds Esper Sentinel. Yeah, he's very much developing card right here. And with Esper Sentinel in his hand, he passes the turn. I take 3 damage, go down to 30, untap and draw a card. We drew an oof. We could oof this game. Kinda wanna get my Mystic Fortune to play though. Dockside is slowed down a bit. And I think if I cast my tutors here, Glenalendra might honestly counterspell that. I'm gonna cast a Collector Roof, paying for Rhystic Study. No more artifact activations. Now it might look like, oh, this is destroying my own deck, but I can still tap my artifacts for mana. And I pass the turn as it resolves. So we're getting into a longer game. Spellseeker. He's tapping out for Spellseeker. So we will tutor for a card. This means that we can use our tutors to find one of our docksides. What in the world is that? So we found a combo piece. That is a spell that will make whenever a creature comes into play during this turn, it will get a +1% counters, which means that he can have infinite counter spells on a persist creature. But in a persist creature basically becomes immortal. In any case, we have a command tower from Emiel the Blessed. Root Maze. It's a green enchantment that makes pretty much everything come into play tap. And Green Sun Senate. And Green Sun Senate. Green Sun Senates. Drawing cards with Rhystic Study again. Maybe I should not have cast the Collector Roof because no one is paying for Rhystic Study anymore. It's like, I am shutting down their mana. That's good. But they still want to cast their spells apparently. Finds a Bird of Paradise. So we roll for Crypt, take 3 damage. At least he's gonna have a harder time winning using Atnos, but the amount of cards he's getting is scary. Moving to combat. Ranger Captain is attacking. Draw a card with Tymna. Volcanic Island. Land drop. He sacrificed the Ranger Captain. He has 3 mana available. There's no mana for the Glenalendra. And Fasa's Oracle. I think it's GG here. I don't have the Red Blast in my hand. Also, I'm not actually allowed to cast my Red Blast even if I had one. And here we go, Demonic Consultation. So this is a very interesting situation, but here we have a mental misstep, but because that Ranger Captain of Eos was over. But this actually brings up a very interesting discussion, considering should I actually have casted Collector Oof here. I think this really showcased that this is a game with the players and you interact with the players and you interact and you need to understand a little bit how people are going to react when you do plays. Because Rhystic Study, everyone was paying for it. Everyone basically had mana for it, and that's great. Like having mana interacts with Rhystic Study. And in general, I had never played with these guys before, by the way, so I don't actually know how they're going to react in a certain specific situation. Like I've played with other people who react differently to this, but when you don't know how people are going to react sometimes. So my look at the board state was we have a Glenalendra that is like protecting us a little bit. It's gonna make it hard for him to win with cool combos because even though he had that Ranger Captain of Eos, he won't be able to defend himself against a Glenalendra. So I cast Collect Roof to just delay the game even more, but then that made people wanna keep casting spells and skip paying for Rhystic Study, or they value progressing with their board state over making sure someone doesn't draw cards with Rhystic Study. And other people might prioritize that differently. But what I should have tried to figure out here is how people are going to react or how to play. So what I'm trying to say here is that I don't think it was wrong to cast the Collector Roof, but it was probably wrong in this kind of pod, because players reacting to different kinds of situations will differ. He tapped out for his Spellseeker here. He gave away a card draw and he wasn't able to use his Glenalendra to protect or defend against someone trying to win the game, just because I casted Collector Roof. And other people react differently. Not everyone does that. So it's kind of important to understand how people are sometimes playing the game and me making choices. Like you could say that it wasn't my fault we lost the game because he tapped out and wasn't able to use his Glenalendra anymore. But you could also say that it's my fault we lost the game because I casted Collector Roof to prevent him from being able to pay for his Rhystic Study and use his Glenalendra. In the end, it's a very difficult game. And however you look at it, it's a social game. Because when you play multiplayer games, other players will dictate the outcome of your game. In any case, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay anyways and the little talk we had at the post game here. Take care guys, see you in the next one.